So yes, everyone, I'll start today's session with a small story. So yes. So yes, everyone, welcome to Change to the Model Day 3 webinar. And let's move ahead. And so yes, everyone, let me start with the story. So recently, there's been one of my neighbor who has shifted, and his name is John. So yeah. So basically, he has a really creative thinking, and whatever he wants it in a creative way. So yes. So yesterday, so basically, he needed a lock to save his house when he goes out. And so yeah, when his parents went to the shop to buy the locks, he didn't find any lock interesting, and so uh, his mom told that he can 3D model one, and so they can 3D print it and use it. But he didn't know 3D modeling. And yesterday, when he met me, he told me this thing, and I told him that I could help him. And so I told him that I'll 3D model a key. And so, yes, everyone, let's move ahead and let's 3D model the key now. So yes, so as usual, first we come to the Chrome page, then we search for Tinkercad, and then you open it. And then we start by making a new design. So create new design. And then the next we'll be renaming the project to key. So yes, so from Igneous Bojo, we'll change the name. So we make it to key. And so yes, let's start making the creative key. So first things first, we will be using a really special block. So really, did you know, except these basic shapes, there are other shapes and other designs too? Did you ever know that? No. Well, let's check it out. So for doing that, we can use it over here. Like we can use it by clicking over here. So yes, so let's click it. And here you see there are many designs. So just a second. So yes, so we can continue. And so except there are many shapes like design starters, creatures and characters, vehicles and machines, structures and scenery, hardware, electronics, fun and games, everyday objects, featured objects, shape generators. So for now, we'll go for design starters. And so here there are many topics. So there's geometric, letters and numbers, text and symbols, decoration. So we'll go to we'll go to decorations. We'll go to geometric. Here you can find many designs. You can even load more. But we will be using the second design, which is known as a capsule. So we will pull the capsule out. And it seems a bit big. So we'll be changing it. So we'll make it small to around 12. And then we'll be changing the width to around 90 or 80. Okay, so yes, 80. And now let's get the bottom done. So for the bottom, we will be using this shape, which is known as the cylinder. So we pull the cylinder out, we change the height, we change it to something around 5. Yeah, so we'll change it to 5, and then we'll rotate it. So we rotate it 90 degrees. So we put here 90. And as you see, it's done. So now we'll attach this to the key's body. So yes, we'll take it a bit up. So here we have taken it up. And now we will add the cylinder to it. So we'll take this up too. And now as you see, the width is really not sizing to the capsule. So we'll be changing the width. So we will change the width. to probably this much is fine. And then we will be shifting it according to the key. And yes, this looks good for the keys bottom. Now let's go for the part through which we can unlock the lock. So we will go with the bars which come out like this. So, we can actually get squares, make them small and do it like this really easily. But no, I'll be teaching you a shortcut right now. So we will take a square out. We will resize it. As he told, it needs to be colorful. So we'll change it to yellow. And then we'll get it onto the key. And then we take it up. And then we change the height a bit. And so yes, we change the height a bit. We take it a bit down.
Hello?
Yes.
Yes, hello. I was just saying that I was joined.
Okay, so do you want me to show it from the starting?
Yes.
Okay, so had you attended yesterday's webinar?
No, actually the phone wasn't available.
Okay, did you see the recording?
Yes, I saw the recording.
Okay, so for now I'll show you everything from the starting. So yes. So yeah, I'll start it all again from the presentation. So yes, hello everyone. Welcome to Change to the Model Day 3 webinar. Now let's move ahead. So yes, everyone, recently I've got a new neighbor which I shifted and his name is John. So basically he has a really creative thinking and he likes to do everything really creative. So yes, so he needed a lock to protect his house when he was out. And so his parents went to the shop to buy some locks and keys, but then he didn't like any designs of those. So his parents told that he can 3D model one and they'll go to the shop and 3D print it. So yet he didn't know how to do 3D modeling. And so yesterday when we met, we were having a talk and he told me this. And I thought that I know 3D modeling and I could help him too. So yes, today we will be 3D modeling a key. So let's move ahead and let's do it. So first things first, we open Google and then we open thinkcad.com. And then after we are done, we create a new design. And then after we are done, when the design loads, you're going to rename it and rename it to a key. So we will zoom a bit out. So you can actually zoom in and zoom out from here. So yes, so did you all know, except these basic shapes, there are many other things too. So do you want to know from where do we get those? So basically it happens when you press over here. Over here. So let's just a second. So yes, now let's move on and let's press it. And as you see, there are many things: your creations, favorites, basic shapes, designs, creatures and characters, vehicle and machine, structure and scenery, hardware, electronics, fun and games, everyday uses, everyday objects, featured collections and shape generators. So for the starting of making the key, as you told, he likes creative things. So even I got a creative idea. So we're going to choose design starters. And as you see, there are many options over here: geometric, letters and numbers, text and symbols, decoration, etc. So we'll start by choosing geometric. And then we will take the capsule out. And here the capsule is. So we will be resizing the capsule. So we will be changing the side to around 1212. So yes. So we have changed it to 1212. Now we're going to increase the height a bit of the capsule. And yes, the body of our key is ready. Now let's go to the bottom. So for the bottom, we will be using the shape cylinder. So we drag the cylinder out. We change the height. and then we turn it 90 degrees from this one. So we choose it and then we put 90 degrees. And so yes, now we'll be attaching this to the key's body. And now we're going to take this a bit up, because as you see, this is half down, half up. So now we're just drag it up. And then we're going to attach this to the body of the key. So yes, let's get it. Now, as you see, the height might be not that much, so we'll be changing the height width a bit. So we have changed the width to see the requirement. And yes, this looks good. But probably the cylinder should go a bit right. And yes, this looks perfect. Now let's go to the part where through which we can unlock the lock. So basically the two things over here. So for that, we will be using the square. So as you know, there are actually two methods we can do this. The method which you all think, we drag it out, we resize it to small things, we put one up and then we copy paste down. But no, I'll be teaching you a shortcut for this. So basically we start by pulling the box out, then we resize it, and then we attach it to the key's body like this. So yes, as you see, it's over there. So we'll be resizing it to the box, and the width is probably a bit big, so we'll be decreasing the width a bit. And then yes, we will be resizing it to the middle. And yeah, so we'll be changing the height a bit. It looks a bit low. And then we will be dragging it down a bit. So you see, we take it down and then we change the color to yellow. And the next things next, which is the shortcut to this entire process. So basically, this thing works in all of the shapes, including all of them over here. So basically, we take a cube out, or we can actually copy paste this one. So for now, we'll be copy pasting. So as you see, we have copy pasted one. And now we will be decreasing the height. And then we will be taking it in the middle of both of the shapes. And so yes, I have put it. And now, as you see, this is yellow too. So so here in the colors section, there's another option named hole. So you actually press that. And yes, as you see, there you don't see any much difference. But when you select both of the shapes and when you group them, you see the difference. Do you? You can just unmute and see. Hello?
Yes.
Okay. So yes, now let's move ahead. Now, actually, my neighbor also told me that he would like a skull symbol on his key, and also his address, which is A101. So before we end, we'll be putting those two things. So first, for the skull, I've actually found out that there's an option. You go to design starters. Then here, when you drag a bit, you see decorations. There, if you go, you'll see the skull symbol, which is named skull charm. So you just take it out. And then we will be over here, we will be turning it 90 degrees. So 90. And yes, we'll be decreasing the size a bit. So here we change the width. So just a second. So yeah, so we change the width. So here we change the width. And now let's change the height too. And then you will take it a bit up. And so yes, now we will be putting it over here. So we will be turning it 90 degrees again. So we'll be using this one this time. So 90. And yes, now let's put it over here. So we'll be moving it. So I'll be moving it with arrow keys. And so yes. Now we'll be taking it a bit down. And now we'll be attaching it to the key. So as you see, Now, yes, it looks pretty good. Now let's move on to the address. So on the other side, he'll be putting his address, which is A101. So basically, in basic shapes, there's an option named text. This is a really good feature. We drag the text out and you can actually put any text that you want. So I'll be putting A101. So yes, I'll be putting A101. And yes, as you see, it's right over here. So we'll be turning it again like we did with the skull. So we'll be changing it. So it will become 90 degrees. And we'll be changing the height and width to make it small, just like the skull. So we change the height, we change the width. And so yes, we can take it up. And just like the skull, we need to turn it 90 degrees once again. So here, as you see, I'm turning it 90. And then now we're going to attach it just like the skull over here. So we'll be changing it. And then here it goes. And yes, it looks a bit too much down. So I'll be taking it a bit too up. And yes. So here is our key. And just so that it becomes better, we'll be turning it upside down. So first things first, we select the entire thing and we group it up like we learned in last class. So yes, now it looks pretty good. And now we'll be turning this. So we'll select the entire thing and using this one, we'll be turning it 180 degrees so that it goes exactly upside down. So we do 180. And yes, so here our key is ready. And now you can press send to, or you can import and export. And so yes, everyone, thank you for attending the webinar and meet you tomorrow.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye.